Welcome back again in the life of a mother of three, as I take you through on how we spend our day together in the office with I and the kids. So the kids are done with their exams, and because of that they'll be going with me to the office, and this of course has tripled my job, but what can I do? This is the life of a mother. So first thing we did when we got to the office was to change their outfit. This is what I do always because I like to remove their clothes so that they don't dirty it. Sometimes we go somewhere from the office so they can still look neat even after that. So I'll go ahead and change them to a clothes they can play with, so even if they stain it, I'm not bothered. So firstly I changed Jasmine, which I later did that of Jed, and I started arranging the clothes so I can go ahead and put them into the bag. So immediately I was done with that, next is to set my table. I brought out my laptop because I have a job I wanted to do for a client. And boom, I remember they have medication to take. I was not able to give them this medication at home because we are rushing to come out, so I'm giving them the morning dose now. So I gave Jaden and Jasmine as well. One thing I like about my kids is the fact that I don't struggle to give them medication. I just give them the bitter one first, which I give them the one that is a kind of sweet to calm them down. I'll go ahead and give them water to wash it down. So right here I'm done giving them their medication and baby J was still sleeping. Oh my god, I was happy. I quickly rushed to see if I can be able to draft the client job before the client comes for his job. So I immediately put on my laptop and started doing the job gradually. At this point, Jaden and Jasmine has already started giving the office a very big noise. I have shouted and shouted at this point, but what can I do? After a while, baby J woke up from sleep, so I had to pause every other thing I was doing to come and attend to him. First thing I did also was to change his clothes because the clothes is a kind of thick, and of course the weather is very hot. So I had to change him into a singlet that will penetrate air into his body. While I was doing that, Jaden of course was joking around with him. Honestly, going to work with kids is really not easy. The way I was trying to ensure that these children does not make noise, to disturb other offices around. But the moment I stopped them from one, they are doing the next. Oh my god, I quickly rushed and finished removing the clothes. Of course, the next thing for us to do is to feed. I carried him and go to my seat where I can relax properly so that I can go ahead and feed him. This is because every other thing that we were doing in that office was not his business until he ate his food. So I quickly fed him. One good thing about baby J is once he's fed to his food, he will just relax, and be playing. He won't disturb. So after that, I lay him down, and of course it was getting close to lunch hour. They've already started shouting for me, "Mommy, I want to eat, I want to eat." So I brought out their lunch and their water. Then I asked Jaden to say a prayer for the food. Pray. After Jaden prayed for the food and we said amen, quickly go ahead to start feeding them one after the other. Of course, baby J was looking at me. I had to put this close in his mouth. But he has not started eating solid food because we are still on exclusive. After feeding him, I remain part of it because I know they will still want this food later. So now that I've settled every other person, I go ahead to start eating my own food. Of course, I cannot eat without calling you. Please, lovelies, come and join me to eat this delicious meal. So I started eating while they were watching their cartoon. And baby J was also having fun with his sandals. At this point, the children wanted to poo. Jaden pooed first and Jasmine wanted to poo. There is no how she can poo. I have to help her. So what I did was to tie baby J at my back so I can be able to help her to poo. This is because Jasmine have not started using the water system herself. And baby J was also crying at that time. Look at the way we did it. I had to help her there, for her to poo. I and baby J was taking out the whole smell of the poo-poo. After that, it was exactly 2 o'clock and this is the time for them to have their siesta. You don't force them to sleep. They will actually not sleep the whole day. So I quickly sprayed their wrapper, asked Jaden and Jasmine to lie down and start sleeping. Baby J was the last to sleep because I had to feed him before he sleep, after which I laid him down. At this point, I felt some relief, but I wanted to sleep just like they were sleeping. But I still have some jobs to do. I have to go back to my desk and see what I can do with this little time they are sleeping. I started drafting the job I was doing earlier and I was able to finish it while staring at this beautiful sight. Which mom does not like this sight? A few moments later, baby J woke up. He was the first to wake up, and after which Jasmine woke up and Jaden as well. And the first thing they do whenever they wake up from sleep is to demand for water. I gave them their water and they were also playing with their brother. Then the next thing was to feed them the remaining part of their food. After feeding them, to start packing and arranging our bags because any moment from now our daddy will be coming to take us home. A few minutes later, our daddy came and we are ready and set to go. So guys, we are on our way. That is how we spent our day today. Thank you all for watching. Bye bye.